right, we are live. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to ADSR Music Production Tutorials. My name is Stranjah, just waiting for everyone to arrive in the live stream. How's everyone doing? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Again, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to arrive. I'm from Toronto, Canada. It is 10 a.m. over here. I just had my breakfast and I'm ready to do some live streaming, some production live streaming. And of course, let me know how everything sounds. If you can hear me clearly, I'll play you some music soon so you guys can let me know how it sounds. What's up, Newcastle? What's up, Birmingham? UK Massive, what's going on? Good to see. Oh, someone from Ukraine, someone from Montreal. What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in. Once again, my name is Stranjah, and you are tuned in to ADSR. And today we're going to be diving deeper into the depths of dubstep. That's a tongue twister for you guys. I thought I'd come up with a nice little name for today's stream. I was just feeling this need to do some dubstep, and I've been getting a lot of requests from my own audience to dive a little deeper on that deeper sound of dubstep. It's kind of like a little more minimal. It's a bit more. There's more of that dub in that dubstep. So I really enjoy listening to that. And if you guys are new to that style of dubstep, there's some really great producers out there. There's actually a really good playlist on Spotify. I'll just bring up the playlist for you guys so you guys can look it up yourself. It's called Sublo, and it's got a lot of really good deep dubstep sounds. So stuff by Chromestar, Komodo, Scream, Von D's a good one. Skeptical, he's a drum and bass producer, but he does a lot of good halftime once in a while. Lofa, of course, he's a legend. Thing, good friend of mine. He does drum and bass, jungle, and dubstep. Plastician, of course. We brought Plastician down to Toronto a couple of years ago, and he absolutely killed it. He did like a mix of old school and new school dubstep. So this is a great playlist. If you're still new to the sound of dubstep, this is a good place to explore and get you started. But yeah, that's the type of sound we're working on. It's a little more subdued, a little more focused on the drums and low frequencies, right? And lots of people tuning in. Arizona, what's going on? Wales, UK, Cardiff, Essex, Essex. I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry about that. London, USA, Cologne, Mumbai. Oh, what's going on, Mumbai? Sweet. All right. Looks like, we have a good crew. So once again, my name is Stranjah. Welcome to my live stream on ADSR, where we're going to be diving deeper into the depths of dubstep. Try not to twist my tongue on that one. But yeah, I'll break it down to what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be showing you the basics of creating a dubstep beat, my approach. There's different ways to go about it. So I'll show you how I do it, and I'll show you different patterns and stuff. Once we have a good beat, then we can work on a bass line. So I can show you some basic sound design tips on how I would approach a more deeper dubstep bass. And then we can work on some composition. And we'll try to make this a little interactive. So every once in a while, I'll check in with you guys, and perhaps we can make some creative decisions together. We'll see. It is a bit hard balancing the chat while producing, but I'll do my best. But there will be times where I'm more focused on what I'm doing here on Ableton. So just be patient. I'll check in with you once in a while. But yeah, we're gonna have fun today. So thanks again for tuning in, and I guess without further ado, let's just get started. So, whoa, that's a nice kick. Actually, what I'm gonna start with today is a different approach as opposed to using single hit drum shots, which I do a lot. I think I want to play with cutting up a breakbeat and then using that as our foundation for a beat. We'll see how that goes, if we're feeling it. I'm all about going with the flow, so if it doesn't work, then we can try something else, but it's all about finding a vibe. Okay, so I selected a couple, pre-selected some breaks before. This is from a break pack that's 20 years old. It's called Point Break. If anyone knows about it, let me know. It's got some classic breaks here. Let me know if there's a particular, let me know if there's a particular one that you guys like. We're definitely doing more Burial than Skrillex, but I would say Burial is more kind of future garage styles. I could implement some of those techniques. I love the way how Burial does his hi-hats, and you can definitely implement that into dubstep. But first, I just want to choose a breakbeat to cut it. It's a nice one. I like how that has a nice sharp snare. This is also nice. This one has a really metallic feel to it. I might go with that one. We'll see. This has a nice tight snare. That's also a good option. It's alright, not bad. This one's nice too. I love metallic sounding snares. I'll just bring a couple in. Now these are, I pre-cut these with Recycle. If you guys want to see how Recycle works, let me know. But I thought these are breaks I cut up years ago, so they're always ready anytime I need them. Yeah, these are classic breaks, so that's why they sound familiar. And of course, the first thing you want to set is your tempo. And of course, with dubstep, it's usually at 140 beats per minute. Sometimes it's a bit faster. Now, we want this to be halftime. So, although dubstep, for those that are new to dubstep, although it is at 140 beats per minute, the main kicks and snares are on the halftime position. So you're really programming the beat at 70 beats per minute. But the reason why we do it at 140 beats per minute is that it gives us a little more creative control on the actual grid, right? So you can dial in and insert ghost hits a little more easily when you're at 140 beats per minute. So I can, so the cool thing about Ableton is there's this a double time and half time button here, these little twos. So that just, so I just half the time there. Now I'll just make a copy of this beat, and I may make my own rhythm with it. Maybe add an additional kick here, right? And then place, I just want one long hi-hat. This one here, because there's a ghost kick here, this hi-hat could be shortened. So, well, let's see how it sounds. Yeah, it's not bad. Now I like to play with the amplitude envelope, and this allows us to shape every hit. Yeah, I prefer using Recycle. It's a little more, well, you can get the same precision with Ableton. The difference with Recycle, actually, why don't I show you? Because, yeah, I've been using Recycle for over 20 years. Love the app. Let's see. Let me look for a break to cut up so I can show you guys. Yeah, I have an A-bin here that I made. Whoa. Okay, so this is Recycle. Now, I'll just put a few points here. And so you use this pen tool to draw your, I guess, to pinpoint your transients. Now, usually when I do it, I'm a little more precise. I zoom in to the transients and get really tight with the transients. It's a little bit of OCD where I want to make sure it's super tight, right? So normally this is how I would use Recycle. Okay, now I just cut up a few slices here. Let me just grab that snare. Okay, yeah, so there's that snare. So the cool thing about Recycle that Ableton doesn't have is there's this, it's called stretch, but it's not actually stretching the main part of the sample. It creates a tail for each slice. So notice right now when I play it, as soon as the sample reaches the end, the sample just stops, right? But if you turn on this preview button, enter, let's just say it's 2 bars, now this envelope section is enabled, and there's this knob here that says stretch, right? So if I stretch this to 100, what it does is that it creates a tail past the sample endpoint. You see how it trails out as before. We'll put it 0. So right now it just stops right when it reaches the end of the sample. If you stretch it to 100, it creates a tail. And what's great about this is that, let's say you're working on a slower tempo. Let's say your breakbeat is at 160 beats per minute, but you're working at 140 beats per minute, right? So if you're working at a slower tempo and your break was at 160, you'll get like space in between each hit, right? So to remedy this, Recycle has a stretch option, which creates a tail at the end of each slice, so that if you're working at a slower tempo, it can fill in those gaps. So yeah, this is a secret that I've used for years, which allows me to pitch up breaks a lot further than you normally can, because then you have that tail, so you're not worried about the sample reaching its end. Because when you pitch up a sample, it plays the sample faster, right? So because it plays it faster, then you might reach the sample endpoint before the next sample plays. So that stretch really helps. So why not use reverb? That is another technique. I would say there's nothing wrong with it. It'll just give you a different sound. I think doing it this way, it sounds more natural because you're using the actual audio material from like the snare to create a tail. Whereas reverb, you might get some weird room effects, so you aren't getting a more authentic sounding tail. So yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if it does. But yeah, so back to this. So I'm playing with the sustain here. So this is the so when you pre-cut in Ableton, it gives you a number of controls. So the first four are related to its amplitude envelope. So what I normally do is I bring the sustain all the way down, and that when sustain is all the way down, then you can play with the decay. The decay and sustain work in tandem, right? Decay is how long it takes for the sample or the amplitude to reach the sustain level. So essentially we're saying how long does it take the decay to reach negative infinity. All right, okay, that's an all right beat. I'm gonna play with this one as well. Let's see how this one sounds. Actually, it wasn't this one. I think I pulled in the wrong one. Yeah, it was this one, number 14. So slice to MIDI. And actually, you can create your own slice presets. So this one, I'm using my own Stranjah slice preset. And then I have my own personal knobs here. Actually, I forgot to include the amplitude ones, but what you can do is I can go here, I can go to sustain, map it to macro 4, and just now when you map it, it's only that particular slice, so you have to map to all siblings. And actually, Ableton doesn't come with this option automatically, this map to all siblings. There's a way to get around that, but I mean we're going on a tangent here. But if look it up, essentially you have to enter in a code in their batch file to get this option, which doesn't make sense to me. They should just, if anyone from Ableton is listening, just make this option available by default because it's very useful. So what this does is it then maps this to all the other slices, right? And then decay, I want to map to macro 3, and again map it to all siblings. So now I have this here. Notice when I move this knob, it changes the amplitude envelope. Okay. Now I'll just make my own beat from this. So dubstep, the snare usually falls on, this would be the third beat. You can always have less typical beat formations where the snare is on different positions, but this is the typical one. I can show you different positions. So what I do is I fill the gaps with the hi-hats, right? Now you could totally just use the same hi-hat, but it's nice to have a variation to give it a more live feel. So I'm looking for a different hi-hat. So going from this slice to this slice. Now let me just pitch this out. Okay, let me make this a longer loop. So now it's a 2-bar loop. And I'll bring this and make this a yeah, this is a nice starter beat. Shouts out to Diwa BBA for tuning in. All right, so this break is sounding good. I think it just needs some processing. One guilty pleasure that I like is to apply this multiband distortion unit. It's called Devaster. If anyone follows my channel, then you know I use this a lot. I'm gonna apply some EQ. And notice there's some low end rumble on this break, so I'm gonna add an EQ before distorting, and perhaps take out some of that low end. Let's try pitching this down. That's kind of, I like that pitch down a little bit. What do you guys think? So I'm at -2 on this break. All right. Sometimes what I like to do is then layer some single shots with the break. So to add some enforcement on the kicks and snares. This might work. We'll see. I just want something that with some low end, right? Like that. That's nice. Very pure. Doesn't have much other than low frequencies. Make this 2 bars. Does it really work? Maybe this one. Yeah, this one works a little better. Sometimes the reason why it's not working is that there might be some weird transient that isn't lining up with your kick. So you just have to zoom in on your kick and just make sure, look at what's happening in the transient, right? So maybe on the break here, maybe there's something weird happening. So you can, where is it? Yeah, so here's slice 1. Let's just make sure, it's a clean transient, right? So maybe that's this little pre-transient stuff here. Maybe we can make it tighter, right? So it's more lined up with the other kick. Same for this one. So this is kind of a open hi-hat with a kick, so there's not much we can do about it. We can try moving this transient to see if it sounds tighter. Yeah, that sounds all right. And I also have to bring the kick down a little bit. It's all about balancing. So the way I produce now is I mix while I work. Yeah, you can definitely use the track delay. It's the same idea. I'm just moving the transient. Thanks for the suggestion, though. Big up Conscious DNB. Good idea. So yeah, thanks. Who said that? Someone said maybe a 1 or 2 for yes or no. I'll check in with you guys in the next time we need a creative decision. But yeah, that's a good idea. Now I'm thinking this 4 here. That maybe it doesn't have to happen as often. That hi-hat kick. Oh, that one's better. You gotta explore your kick. I mean your break, because sometimes certain slices are better. Ooh, that's a nice one. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, let's see what other snares are here. So yeah, here's another creative decision. Slice 12 or slice 5 for the snare. Slice 5 or 12. I guess, yeah, just type 5 if you like slice 5. Type 12 if you like slice 12. Meanwhile, I will continue with this beat. Yeah, so beyond adding the break and kick, I mean the snare is pretty nice already, so I don't think it's necessary to layer the snare. Number 12, everyone says 12. All right, okay. All right, there you go. We're using slice number 12. If you're using 12, there's a hi-hat that comes right after. So to make it more natural, you gotta use that hi-hat. So you get that, so you get that tail from the snare. What you could also do is, the snare has a nice resonant frequency. There's this hollow sound, and you can bring that out, right? So you can dial in and find that frequency. So this approach I learned from my good friend Zero Equals Zero, my friend Jason, who lives in Montreal now with his baby mama and his son. But shouts out to Zero Equals Zero. But yeah, you bring the frequency all the way up. And you find that frequency, all right? Essentially, you're looking for that frequency that has this kind of ringing sound. And once you find it, then you bring the gain back down. Now you can bring it all the way down, and then bring it back up and find the sweet spot. Yeah, I just like a subtle, so around 2 dB just to give it a bit of that boost. Let's see if we can make this sound a bit tighter. Oh, I just moved that by accident. So when you tighten up that this break, then it sounds unnatural because of the low frequencies, right? So you see how it sounds sharper, tighter, but it doesn't sound as natural because those low frequencies are getting cut out, so there's gaps in between of those low frequencies. You could remedy that. There's tons of different ways. You can use multiband dynamics to fix that, but easy way, you can just EQ it. Actually, why don't I show you guys how there's been some requests on how I use multiband dynamics to shape a break. So I'm gonna go into I have trash here. Let me know if this knowledge is useful for you guys, or if I'm diving a little too deep. We did say we're diving deeper into the depths of dubstep today, but maybe this is too deep for you guys, so let me know, and then we can go back, we can take a step back. But I am using isotope trash and turning on, off trash, and using dynamics here. And I'm using the multiband dynamics here, and essentially what I'm doing is that sorry if so my microphone keeps hitting my necklace, so apologize if you keep hearing it ring there. But basically, I'm using the multi-dynamics section of trash to shape certain frequency bands of the break, right? So you have this multi-band mode where you can split the dynamics between different frequency ranges, right? So you have this graph here that shows you the frequency ranges. So if you solo this band, this is the low end, and this is where it gets choppy, right? You hear that choppiness, and then this is the mid, and actually it's a bit choppy up here as well. The high end usually is okay. So what you can do is you find the, I guess, crossover frequency point where the choppiness starts, right? Okay, glad to know it's not going too deep. Okay. So I'm using this to find the crossover frequency when it starts to get choppy, right? I think around there, around 400 hertz, it stops getting choppy. Yeah, we'll stick to around 400 hertz. So if I solo the first band here, the lower band, that's where that choppiness is, right? Hopefully this works. But basically, I'm gonna be gating this section here. So this threshold is the gate, right? So I'm just gonna bring the gate up to catch the transients of this drum. Actually, what I do is I bring the ratio all the way up, so it's gating it totally, and then I just find, let me just mute this kick here. Right. So right now I'm only catching the attacks of the kick. What do I mean when I say it's choppy? Well, let me turn this off, right? If you have to be listening with your headphones or a stereo system. If you're listening to on the phone, you won't hear what I'm saying. But basically, if you listen to the low mids and the lows, that rumble, there's this cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, it's choppy. So it makes the groove sound choppy and unnatural. Nothing wrong with it, but I like to smooth it out. So hopefully you can hear that, but basically that's what I'm trying to remedy here. So let me just turn trash on again. Okay, so what I'm using is I'm catching those hits, right? The very tips of those kicks and snares, right? And then using this ratio, nothing below this threshold passes through. And then you can create a release, which is how long does it take for that gate to open up again. So having a quick release, it just stops it abruptly, right? and then creating a release, then makes it sound more natural. I think around 100 milliseconds works. Okay, hopefully this works. Oh yeah, it works. Nice. Phew. Usually I do this with an aim in, so I kind of took a risk here and hoped that it did work, and thankfully it did work for this break. So, do you guys notice this? It sounds more natural on the lower end of this break now. Another thing you can do, which I've enjoyed playing around with, is distorting certain bands. So I like to distort, for example, the snare. So again, we'll use the same band range, and actually, let's start with the top end. I like distorting the top end. It gives us nice harmonics. And then we'll add some distortion. Oh, is it even working? Oh, I'm on the wrong. So you got to make sure you're on the right band. I was on number 2. You got to make sure you're on number 3 here, which is the top band here, and then apply a distortion shape. Now some of it starts to break up the signal, so you've got to find a shape that's little sweeter. You can increase the drive. Oh. Let me just listen to before and after. Oh, bypass. So this B button bypasses it. Yeah, it brings out that high end. Adds a little saturation. Oh, I think I'm also distorting. I don't want to distort the low end, so I'm going to hit. Yeah. So this is on. And this is off. Notice how it makes that high end a bit sweeter. Let's see if we can do it to the snare. I just noticed maybe I went to extreme here. I was modifying number 2 when I didn't know I was modifying it. So now it's crushing it, the signal. I think you should use the same shape for the entire sample to maintain consistency. I've actually never dived into this before, but what happens if you use a different distortion shape for the mid band, right? So we'll see. We're all learning here together. Nasher sounds all right. Let me just go before and after. Maybe bring it down to, it's starting to clip a bit. So this is without the distortion. And this is with distortion. So let me know what sounds better. Now I'm just gonna save because we did a lot of work just now, and it'd be shitty if we lost it. Okay. Now I'm gonna, yeah, why don't we add some reverb to create some space in this break. So I am going to, well, actually there's a cool thing you can do, which I learned recently. You can add sends on the drum bus. So I'm gonna add an effect here. I'm loving rev intensity from Arteria lately. Great reverb plugin. I did a video about this plugin, so if you want to go a little more deeper on this reverb unit, check my channel out. It's Stranjah, YouTube Stranjah, and I do a video on this unit. Love this unit. It's a very musical reverb unit. But what's cool is you can add effects here as a return signal on the actual drum rack, and then you can choose a slice, right? So number 12 was the snare, right? So where's the, oh, did I put it on the wrong one? I think I did. Oh, I want this one. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on this, bring up the chain and turn on my return here, the R button, and pull reverb unit into as a return into drum rack. Oh, someone's saying the high end distortion might be too harsh. Okay, thanks for the heads up. I'll just bring it down just in a little bit after I add this reverb signal. Thanks for the input. Okay, now I've sent this reverb all the way to wet because we just want the wet signal when we're sending it. And number 12 is what we want. That's the snare. And turn on your send, right? So now you get a column for send. So now you get to reverb just this snare. Now just adjust the settings. Gonna damp it a little bit. Maybe add some pre-delay. High pass it a little bit. Okay, so you guys are saying that the high end is a bit too distorted. Okay, so let's go back to the high end. Okay. Okay, I'll bring it down. It's also probably the shape. It's maybe a bit too harsh. Let me find. I'm gonna use this one now, Blues Driver. Let me know if this sounds better. It'll take more time to really dial in and find the right one. I do want to show you guys more, so I don't want to spend all day on this section, but let me know if this sounds better. Bring it down a little more even. Yeah, maybe that's a little better, so let me know. All right, so I have a drum beat that I like. Brought my kick back. Let's just add one more percussion sound, just so we have another layer. I like adding tambourines. Yeah, maybe this one. Let's just add a quick straight tambourine. Let's see how that sounds. Just the transient. Tuck it in. Okay. Okay, people are saying that sounds better. Okay, great, good to know. All right, so I'm itching to add some more to this. And we just have a beat right now and do want to add a little more so we can actually dive deeper into dubstep. A nice approach is, well, I actually went into Splice earlier and I found these, I went into the techno section. So I like looking for nice techno stabs like that. Not that one, but like even that. It just gives an just having a little sample to loop over gives you some, I guess, foundation to build over. You don't necessarily have to even end up using the sample in the end. It just gives you a reference point to build your own pieces. Oh. Let me just add some echo to that so it's a little more dubbed out. So yeah, I added this techno stab. I can also show you how I would create my own stab. But while I work on the stab, when I get to the bass, what synth do you guys want me to use to make the bass? You have the choice of Serum, Pigments, what else? Massive X, or Faceplant. So I'll give you 4 choices. Let me know which one you want me to use to create the bass. While you guys choose, I'm going to create more sounds for this techno tune. Well, techno, this is dubstep. I mean, this stab is a techno stab. But yeah, I want to create a techno stab here. Okay, so I'm just filtering a sawtooth. You can, yeah, I just want it mono, nice and lo-fi Detroit sounding. And then I'm gonna apply envelope 2 to the cutoff. Maybe try different, what I like about Pigments is that it has a 36 pull. We can add a second engine. Oh, cool. Yeah, so we're using the sampler. That's cool. Can we pitch this down? Cool. So we can make like a techno stab. And techno stab, I like to add some reverb to it. I used to send all my use reverbs as sends. It's a better practice, but sometimes I admit I am lazy and I just want to use it right away. So I'll just pull it in as an insert. It's just a little more work to then balance the levels in terms of gain staging. But yeah, because we have so much computer power now, I just bring it directly as an insert. And then I'll bring in some, let's bring in some delay. I like my delay before my reverb. So here's another question for you guys. Delay before reverb or reverb before delay? Let me just turn off that. Ooh, that's nice. Maybe a slower pace. Oh, this is a, wow, that's a, I'm using a, I didn't know I was using a major, so this is a major triad, GBD, but I was just changing the voicing, so I moved the G up here. But I like a darker sound, so moving that one step down to make it minor. Let me just mute this guy. Let's use a, so putting the stab on the offbeat here, you get that dub reggae type of pattern. Then you can double up the root, so maybe double up the fifth as well. Maybe double up one more time, G. Maybe add a seventh to it. So that's one pattern for you guys. Let me just duplicate this. Make it, you can make a 4-bar pattern. You can you're gonna have to EQ it, take out that low end EQ. I want to adjust the envelope just a little bit. Yeah, I want a darker sound. This is cool. I'll just call it jazzy. Let's just keep it one note for now. That's kind of cool. Maybe add some distortion to it. We'll see what happens. We'll use Soundboys, Decapitator. Now I know it sounds distorted, but I think that's what we're going for. We want a little bit of grit to it. Let's try bandpass. Someone's asking for bass. Sure, yeah, I just want to dial in this music first. We will get into bass very soon. Just want to do one thing before we do the bass. I'm thinking of resampling this guy, actually. We'll get to the bass very soon. Oh, shoot, let me just duplicate this. I know, we're all dying for the bass, me too. That's my favorite part. Whoa, I have 2 decapitators here. Well, it gives me a cool sound, so I did by accident, but sometimes you have happy accidents. So I'm gonna freeze this. let me know how this is all sounding, guys. All right, and I'm creating audio track. Well, I actually didn't need to do that, but here's the sample. And yeah, and now I'm gonna put it into my sampler over here. And I am in the key of G, so make this root key G. So I just made my own snap. The reason why I sampled this, well, I'll show you momentarily. But let me unfreeze this and copy the effects here. I want my delay, and I'll just call this stab. Oh, now I feel like making Detroit techno. But yeah, I'm gonna call this stab and call this. Let me see if, there we go. Now this is what I want to do. I want to reverse it. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, I'm liking that note. Okay, so I'll add this here. Let's make it a 4-bar loop. Oh. Delay it a little bit. Bring it quarter note. Maybe bring this like this. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I want to check in with you guys. So I see that you guys want to see Serum, massive, Serum, massive, Serum, massive. So far that's tied. Serum again, or face plant, massive, face plant, massive, Serum. Wow, I think it's a tie between Serum and massive. So I have no other choice but to create a call and response base with Serum and massive. Let's start with Serum first, I think. Yeah, let's start with Serum first. So, boom. That's better. Moved my necklace over so it'll stop ringing. All right. Okay, my favorite wavetable to start programming dubstep bass is a square, BSOD square. Doesn't look like a square, but it has all the harmonics of a square. It just removes all the unnecessary harmonics. Just low pass it, drive it, add some release, make it on mono mode. So I think we're now in the key of E. Yeah, okay. I like that. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, here. Add some space in between so there's a little more of an attack between each hit. Maybe this one can stretch up. Play with some different notes. I want to add a little more attack on this bass. We can do some pitch modulation to create some attack. Envelope 2 to master tune. So we're now creating a pitch bend, but like that. So you get an attack. Ooh, that sounds nice. Let's make this a little less repetitive. Make it double note. Let's see. Sometimes I just play around. I don't even know what it'll sound like, but maybe it'll work. Do, 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 do. Let me just fix this phrase. Timing doesn't sound. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Okay. We can probably add some additional harmonics on this. Let's see. That's kind of funky. Wasn't expected, but that's kind of funky. What if we make this, say, 5th? No. Some of the notes are wrong. Sometimes you gotta play your bass up to find the notes. Yeah, that's better. Okay, then bring it back down. We can do for a more full sounding bass. Or go back to one unison mode as 1 for that typical dub bass. Maybe add some FM modulation. My master is clipping like hell, yeah. I think it's fine though, because we're working in digital, and I think like the actual headroom is like a lot. So even if it's red, I think it's fine. It sounds fine to me. It's never, I mean, when I mix it down, when I send it to the mastering engineer, of course I fix it, right? What you can do is you can just select all your channels. Like that, and then it brings it all down relatively. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes I don't even watch the master because I don't think it really matters when you're, I'm probably breaking all the rules when I say that, but yeah. I think it's fine. So I have, whoa. I have a sub-frequency oscillator, and I have this for the mids. Maybe add some glide. Yeah, I'm thinking on liking this. I will add some distortion perhaps. Let's try a different filter, maybe bandpass. Scream has some good filters. Actually, Scream had some nice harmonics here. Let me know how this sounds. I think we have about 20 minutes of more streaming left, so let me just check in. Check in with everyone at ADSR. Once again, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, my name is Stranjah, and I am streaming on behalf of ADSR, and so we're doing a diving deeper in the depths of dubstep today, tongue twister. Let me know if you can say that 3 times fast. Diving deep in the depths of dubstep. Diving deeper into the depths of dubstep. Diving deeper into the depths of dubstep. Diving deeper into the depths of dubstep. Whoa, that's hard. Let me know if you guys can do it. Yeah, so cool. We have our main bass, and let's add Pigments as our second bass. And wait, no, you guys asked for Massive X, right? Massive X. Boom. So, love Massive X for dubstep bass. Very analog sounding synth. And there is a couple waveforms that I like for this. Quick start, let's initialize this. It is found under Formant, Aggregat, and Ekret. I don't know how you pronounce that, but these have really cool shapes to form a dubstep bass. Has nice harmonics when you filter it. So that's Ekret, and this Aggregat. And actually, I use this in an upcoming track I did with MC Fox. So, we did a halftime style drum and bass tune, and he did some amazing vocals, and I made the bass with this shape. So when you filter, it sounds really nice. And then we can just shape it with some amplitude. To get that wobble sound, for this one, I just like using the amplitude envelope. And then just add a sub oscillator on top. Yeah, we can just use oscillator 2 as our sub oscillator, I guess. Just bring it down an octave. There's actually a trick that I did with this bass. I'm trying to remember how I did it. That sounds really nice. I wanted to have a little delay. Let's try just adding a delay. And I want to sync my time. Just mute this bass. Oh, damn. That sounds pretty, as they say, naughty. Naughty. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, da. Whoa, that was a cool note. Like, do, 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 da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, looks like my camera just died. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn my camera. I'll just turn Ableton off right now. I'm just gonna add it back. I didn't expect my battery to die so quick today. Usually it lasts longer. Sorry about that. Just give me 1 sec. Just fixing the camera here. Okay, let's hear how this bass sounds. Oh, no, I didn't want that. Oh, I think maybe it didn't work. I need to hear it in solo. Yeah, that sounds like a sick bass. Just want to make sure there's enough sub on this bass. Oh, it's so low. Am I playing the right note? Bring this an octave down. That sounds so cool, but the sub isn't coming through. I had like, there we go. Let me just mute that step. Yeah, it's mine. Here, one. Sorry about that. It's the first time I think I was using my lav today, and it keeps hitting my necklace. So that's that jittery sound. I just took it off. Sorry about that. I'll be mindful of it next time. How does this sound, guys? Probably have to change this note. Now that's a naughty dubstep right here. Let's see if we can incorporate that first bass somehow. The melody probably won't work, but we could probably add hits in between. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, like that. So we gotta duplicate this and then bring this as a call and response. Boop, 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 boop. 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 Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba. Okay, so we are in the key of E to D sharp. Okay. Okay, so we have this guy muted, so we have a kind of a different kind of call and a response style where he kind of like a call, half call, and then response here. Oh. So I'm going to bring this start point here. Hopefully it works. Let's see. Maybe not as frequent, maybe at the end of 8. Let's bring this guy back. I've not played with DS Thorn synth. I'll check it out. Let me just, I'll just mentally remind myself. DS Thorn. What kind? Is it an FM synth? The clipping is too much. Sorry about that. Is it really? Yeah, you could add wood percussion. Someone said Benga style percussion. Let's see what we can do. We have about 10 minutes, shy of 10 minutes. Let me know if you guys have any final questions, and let me know how this sounds, what you thought of this live stream. Any ways I can improve on future videos, let me know. I'm always open to feedback. It's all about improving and getting better. And what else you'd like to see in future shows. Okay. I like some adding reverb to wood percussion such as this. It gives a nice atmosphere. It's like this. You can add a ba 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 on that last hit here. And then bring the velocity down so it trails out. Or you can do it like this. Someone's asking for grime. Sure. I'll have to study grime a little more. I've done a few grime beats, but I haven't had a crazy experience doing grime. Shouts out to Raw B. Would love to though. Yeah, that's cool. DJing of Ableton. Yeah, I've done it before. Haven't done it a whole lot. Might be better people to teach that topic, but I'll keep it in mind. Let me just throw this into a quick arrangement as we approach the end of this show. Once again, my name is Stranjah. You're tuned into ADSR. Shouts out to the ADSR family, Steve, David, very kind people to have me host their show. So really enjoyed diving deeper into the depths of dubstep today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Would love to do episode 2 of this. I do really enjoy this genre of music. It gives you a lot of flexibility to play with different rhythms, and sound design in deeper dubstep is fun as well. And if you enjoy seeing this, then make sure that you subscribe to ADSR as well. If you would be so kind to also follow me, I have my own channel. It is just look up Stranjah, and yeah, I do music tutorials as well, and all sorts of music, drum and bass, dubstep. I just did a house one recently and a UK garage one. So yeah, follow me if you want to stay updated on more content. Let me just mute this bass here. And then we'll bring the perk, this, add a pause. And then that stab should keep playing. Oh. Maybe increase that delay a bit more. Add a quick riser. I like this. I've used this riser in like 20 tunes. CTS Riser 7. I should probably find a new one. Oh, that turn off warp. It does weird things to risers. Just cut off the tip here. Oh, that didn't sound too nice. Fade it in. Maybe like this. Or like this. Add some reverb to it. Yeah, and then I'll mute the stab on the first 16, I guess, and then bring it back, and I'll bring the percussion maybe halfway through, and maybe tambourine comes in, yeah, 16, like here. So I'll add another pause here, and then we'll, whoop. I think that's it. Okay, so let's hear it from the top. All right, so that was our tune. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, my name is Stranjah, and you're tuned into ADSR, and this was diving deeper into the depths of dubstep. Yes, I got it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks again for tuning in, and that's pretty much it. That was today's stream. Hope you guys learned something from this. Let me know what you guys thought. And until then, we'll see you at the next stream. So thanks again to ADSR and everyone tuning in. Until then, peace out.